At 5, it has now been nearly a week since a shooting that injured 3 Corpus Christi police officers. Yesterday, 3 News reported on key new details from the arrest documents that say suspect Ricardo Rojas was searched for weapons before being placed in the back of a police vehicle. After checking his van for evidence tied to an earlier murder, officers returned to the patrol car when Rojas reportedly shot at them from the back seat. Well, today, our Natalia Osuna sat down with CCPD Chief Mike Markle as he clarified how it all unfolded. Natalia?
Mike, well, fortunately, none of the officers were killed, although one remains hospitalized in critical condition. Like you said, court documents show that Ricardo Rojas apparently had a gun on him, despite being patted down by police. It also shows Rojas used a gun to shoot at the officers from the back seat of a squad car. Now let's recap here. It began with a previous connected shooting near Ayers and McCardle, where 39-year-old Daniel Suarez was killed. According to the affidavit, after getting a witness description of the suspect's vehicle, officers Mauro, Flores, and Castro stopped a white van driven by Rojas. Officers ordered Rojas out of the van and he was patted down for weapons, then placed in a squad car. After checking the van for evidence tied to the homicide, officers returned to the patrol unit. As one officer opened the rear door, Rojas opened fire. Officer Alexandria Cano Castro was grazed and shot in the head. Flores was hit in the arm, and Mauro was struck by shrapnel. Afterward, the officers returned fire, hitting Rojas in the legs. He and the injured officers were taken to the hospital, and after being treated for gunshot wounds, Rojas was taken into custody at the city detention center. The affidavit raises some key questions, particularly was Rojas handcuffed, and how did he still have a weapon after being searched? Corpus Christi Police Chief Mike Markle says officers had to make a judgment call based on the situation. Why was he not handcuffed in that moment?
He wasn't, because that's a decision they made. That's a decision they made based on what they had at the time. So again, those are the things that are reviewed and discussed. And is there a change in policy needed? I don't think so. I think we trained very well. I think, but we'll reinforce training, reinforce, the need to be very, very safe.
Rojas faces 4 counts of attempted capital murder, 1 count of murder, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Chief Markle saying he wants to emphasize that Rojas is the one at fault in this shooting, and he doesn't want these details to impact the integrity of the case. And later on 3 News at 6, we'll hear more from our chat with Chief Markle, who gives an update on the condition of Officer Castro Cano, who is still in the hospital recovering, and new details on Rojas' 4 counts of attempted capital murder. Mike.
Natalia, before you go here, I want to do a little math. You mentioned that Rojas faces 4 counts of attempted capital murder. Now, we know that 3 officers were injured, so give me an idea, where does that 4th count come from?
Yeah, Mike, that's a good question. Well, it's another interesting detail we learned today. Chief Markle said Rojas faces those 4 counts because he pointed his gun at a 4th officer but did not strike him.
All right, that makes sense then. Natalia Osuna reporting for us tonight. Thank you, Natalia.